Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Okay, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening for everyone who watch this video and anytime you watch this video. Okay, so today I would like to represent the all materials in language material evaluation and development. That is my subject in my major. My major is English Educational Program in Galuh University. Okay, so I would like to introduce myself. My name is Anggi Anggiana. This is my student's number and this is my class in second grade A. Okay, so let's start for the presentation. Okay, so in this presentation there are 5 contents. For the first there is about curriculum, and then for the second is about syllabus. And then for the next is about lesson plan, or in Indonesia it's called as RPP. And for the fourth is evaluation. And for the last there are approach, technique, and method in learning. Okay, so let's start with curriculum for the first. Let's start by the definition of curriculum. In here there are three of the opinions. For the first is from the Crow and Crow. Curriculum includes all the learner's experience which the child gets under the guidance of a teacher in or outside school that are included in the program which has been devised to help him developmentally, physically, emotionally, socially, spiritually, and morally. And for the second opinion is from Robert Kane. He states that the curriculum is a sequence unit of learning material arranged in such a way that students can learn it based on their initial abilities or previously mastered. That is from Robert Kane. And for the next is from the Professor Dr. S. Masudian. The curriculum is a plan designed to facilitate the teaching and learning process under the auspices, guidance, and responsibility of schools or educational institutions. Okay, so those are the definitions from the scientists. And from my opinion, curriculum is a teaching design of learning material as the guidance for the learning process that will make the teaching and learning process between the teacher and the students success according to the plan and the goal. Okay, that is the definition from for the curriculum. For the next, okay, we know if in Indonesia there are many curriculums. For example, curriculums in 2004 and 2006, and also for the newest is 2013 with some revision, of course. Okay, today I would like to talk about our curriculum today, that is in 2013 version with some revised. Curriculum 2013 is the newest curriculum in education and become the revised version of Curriculum 2006, or in Indonesia it's called as KTSP. Curriculum 2013 is focused on building students' characters, make an interactive learning between the teacher and the student. Okay, so this is the unique, I can say this as an important point. For the first is observing. Why is observing? Because in the curriculum 2013, the students should doing the observation by their own. So they have to find the answer, they have to find a method about something, so they have to do the observation. And for the next is questioning. Okay, maybe they when they do the observation they get the problem, so they can't answer, so they have to give the question to the teacher. So that is the part of the questioning. They have to give the question to the teacher because they always always need spirit to want to know about something. Okay, for the third, after the students doing the observation and ask the teacher, they can get this information and they have to gathering the information. After that, for the fourth is reasoning. When they when they receive some information, they have to reason why, because if they didn't do that, they will forget about the knowledge of that. Okay, so for the last is communicating. We in this curriculum, this should be try to communicate their own idea to other people, because this is not the era they just receive the idea. This is the era they have to give the idea. They have to be a leader. They have superior than other people. Okay, for the next is about syllabus. The definition of syllabus. Syllabus is an outline and summary of topics to be covered in an education or particular course. Syllabus contain the course objectives, assignment, and the dates for the exam. Of course, there is an exam. And syllabus in curriculum 2020. Syllabus development activities are under the authority of the government. Scientific approach is the process for the learning. And in the curriculum 2013, there are core competences, for example, spiritual, social, knowledge, and skills. For the next, okay, this is the example of the syllabus. We can see the components in the syllabus in here. In here, there is the identity. This is the name of the school. Then there is the name of the class. There is the subject. Then this is master. This point. Sorry, these are the part of the identity. Okay, so in here there is standard competence, and this is the title of standard competence. Okay. After that, there is competence, just a basic competence in here. And also there is subject matter. There is activity of the learning, because of course there is an activity. After that, there is an indicator to as as the guidance for the teacher, of course. And after that, there is an assessment from the technique, instrument style, and of course there is an example. The teacher will be easier to understand about this syllabus. And then for the next, there is allocation time, because in every in the class there is an allocation time, so the teacher can use, for example, 1 hour time or maybe 2 hours time. No, there is a specific time for every content. Okay, and for the last, there are a source, of course. The sources can be from the book, or journal, or from anything else. Okay, for the next is lesson plan. Indonesia is popular as RPP. Okay, the definition is lesson plan is a face-to-face learning activity plan for one or more meetings. Okay, we know if in the situation we are not doing the face-to-face learning, we have to use, for example, some platforms such as Google Classroom, Edmodo, and Telegram, and anything else. But we still use the lesson plan, of course. The lesson plan can be used for that method. I mean, for the in social platform, not just in face-to-face learning for now. Okay, so lesson plan is developed in detail from the subject matter or certain themes that refer to the syllabus to direct student learning activities for as the basic contents. Okay, so the lesson plan is the continues from the syllabus. So the we can say if the syllabus is the basic, all the teacher receive the same syllabus from the government. Meanwhile, the lesson plan is different. Why it can be different? Because in, for example, in school A, who who has the students with the high score, meanwhile the school B with the students with the low score, they can't use the same lesson plan, of course, because the teacher have to analyze the condition of the students in the school, so they have to make their own version of the lesson plan. So the lesson plan is different from the syllabus. Syllabus is was made by the scientists in the government, meanwhile the lesson plan or FPP it was made by the teacher. The teacher is made it by their own version. Okay, so this is the example of lesson plan or RPP. In here we can see again the identity. There is a name of the school, there's a subject, there is the materials of the material, then there is class and semester. After that there is the core competence, and then there is the basic competence, same like in the syllabus, and there is indicator. After that this is the learning materials used, some books or pictures or anything else. And in here there is a method for the learning. In here the simple is grammar translation method. After that there is an activity. It solved with the steps of the learning activity. Okay, so that is the example of the lesson plan or in unison called as RPP. For the next there is evaluation. Okay, we start with the definition. Evaluation is a process that critically examines a program. It involves collecting and analyzing information about a program's activities, characteristics, and outcomes. Its purpose to make judgments about a program to improve its effectiveness and or to inform programming decisions. Okay, so after the teacher make the lesson plan, they have to analyze, they have to make an evaluation. Is it works? Is it your final result is the same like the goal or the plan in the lesson plan, or it is failed? So the teacher have to analyze it. And this is the importance of the evaluation, of course. And what are the criteria of a good evaluation? For the first is relevance. The, and for the second is effectiveness. The evaluation should be effectiveness. For the third is understandable. Of course, when you make an evaluation, you have to give that evaluation to other people, so other people should be understand about what. So you have to use words or use graphic who can be understandable for other people. And for the next is have an impact. Of course, evaluation should be have an impact to make you this to make the teacher make the other lesson plan which is better than before. And of course it can be used for the teacher in the class to find the other other technique or other method, so they can uh, try another technique or another method in the class to make learning is work as the plan. For next, this is for the here are approach technique, and method in learning. Okay, so for the first we start with approach, teaching, and learning process. Okay, so what is process? Approach in teaching learning process is the point of view of the idea to determine the implementation of the learning process in the class that will be used in teaching and learning activities. Okay, so in here I made there are two different situations. For the first is teacher center is the type of the approach in teaching and learning process. For the first, there is the teacher center, and for the second, there is student center. Okay, you can see the difference. The difference for the first, teacher center. This is the situation when the teacher is the main character in here. So the teacher who is the probably most speak in front of the other people. The teacher is the most who give the knowledge, who give the announcement, who give the anything to the students. So in here, the students only listen and write what the teacher said. So the teacher is dominant in here. Meanwhile, in second, in the student center, the student is the main character in here. Then, what is the function of the teacher? Okay, so in the student center, the student is the main character, but the teacher also have the critical function in here because teacher is this as the supervisor. Teacher gives the time, gives the clue to the teacher, to the student to make they to, for example, give the equation. For example, the teacher give the clue about, for example, about one topic, and then the students will ask, "Well, what's happened about that? Uh, can you describe more?" That is the function of the teacher. Is the teacher is as the supervisor. The teacher is only give the way. He is not tell to the student what is happening. So the teacher is only give the way to make the student to find their own observation. So the students should do the observation like before what I said. Okay, so in here, in curriculum 2020, student center is the main type of approach in teaching and learning process. In curriculum 2013, the students should be prepared as the leader. They have to try to do the public speaking in front of the people. They have to be brave to stand and to talk about their ideas in front of the people. Meanwhile, because in the last curriculum, the teacher is dominant. The students only hear and listen. Hear and write what the teacher said. Okay. So, what is the difference between method and technique? Maybe for some people who are confused about the difference of this. Okay, so for the method is the whole series of presentations of teaching materials, which includes all aspects before and after learning by the teacher, as well as all related facilities that are used directly or indirectly in the teaching and learning process. Meanwhile, technique in teaching and learning process is the way the teacher delivers teaching materials that have been prepared based on the approach adopted. The technique used by the teacher depends on the teacher's ability to find reason, or tactics so that the teaching and learning process can run smoothly and well. Okay, maybe you still confused about the difference. Okay, I'll give you some example. This basic example. For example, when the teacher we have to give the method. This is the method. The teacher would like to give the method discussion in the class. Discussion is the method. And then what is and what, for example, the teacher write the topic in on the whiteboard. I mean, so the teacher uh, choose one of the students to give their arguments about that topic. After that, the teacher choose another student. So uh, it will sound to us if there are some point of view of many students, many students there. So it will make a discussion there. So the technique, the technique is like the topic on the white and on the whiteboard, and then choose the students who give their argument. That is the technique. Meanwhile, the method is discussion. So we can say if the technique is the way of the method. So, or if it about the structure, if it was the structure, method and then technique. So method first, after that, just technique. That is the structure. Method, technique. Okay, so that is my explanation for all the materials for language materials evolution and development. Thank you very much for your attention. Okay, so this is the end of the video. Okay, wassalamualaikum. See you.